Hi, hello, it's Nikki and welcome to my messy bookshelf. Today I'm here to share my weekly reading wrap-up. It was a very good week. Maybe did not finish so many things like I did last week, but it was still a very good week. And I think I will again go through the events first, and then I will go into the for fun. So the first event I'll talk about is People April. So I am still working on the blue stockings. I am almost done with this. I have like 50 pages left, and I actually considered finishing it before I sat down to film this video, but I need to make dinner. So it is possible I will finish this today while I am cooking dinner, because while stuff is baking, simmering, I'm usually reading. But I do have to say, I have gotten a few more chapters in, and I am still really enjoying this. I really like how we have, most of the women are very high society women, living in London and, Edinburgh, and we have that, yes, and they are sort of the staples of the blue stockings. But I'm really enjoying meeting these other women that are from different sort of less wealthy circumstances in their lives. I'm really enjoying that and how they're all sort of mingling together. So blue stockings, and I will finish this week for sure, if not today or tomorrow. So moving on to other things that I wanted to do for People April. I already did read one other book in the first week for People April. So I am debating on whether I am going to start another book. Well, I did start another book, and the first one that I have is Trejo. And this is by Danny Trejo, the famous actor. And this is about his life in crime, and I believe the title is Mi vida de crimen, redención y Hollywood. So his life in crime, redemption, and Hollywood. This is in Spanish. I'm sure it's available in English, but I came across it in Spanish. And one of my loose goals that I have this year is to read books in Spanish. And I started reading this, and I really want to continue. My original plan for People April was to read The Life of Charlotte Bronte by Elizabeth Gaskell, because it's one I've been wanting to read for years. And then I picked this one up. So I am not sure. I'll probably dip into both of them to see which one sticks. But right now I'm leaning towards this one. But it might take me a bit longer because reading in Spanish is not as natural for me as reading in English. So we'll see. This will be the last thing that I do for People April, though. So that is People April. The next thing is our Audio Miles group that we have going. We are still reading The Dutch House, and I have made it 80% into The Dutch House. I am on chapter 16. I'm loving the book. It is so emotional and well-paced, well-written. I really want to check out more of Anne Patchett's books. We're still, dealing with our main character, Danny, and his sister, Maeve, and their life together, their close bond, their close relationship, and sort of having flashbacks and remembering stuff that happened to them when they were children and growing up, and their lives together growing up. Like I said, so 80%, chapter 16, and this week I have walked a total of 9.47 miles while listening to this book. And I have no doubt that I will finish this book this week, because I have been wanting to continue walking, but it is just so hot already. In April, it is hot here where I live. So, maybe some indoor walks, but I kind of get bored with the indoor walks, so I try to get outside. But we'll see. But I will finish that this week. Moving on, for the Traumatic Book Club, I am going to be reading this One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. and I mentioned it in my pile of possibilities. I have to return this to the library soon, so I am going to read this one this week. It is very short, but it follows a man who is in a work camp, one of the Gulag camps in Soviet Russia. And the author himself had experience. I think he spent like 9 years in a Gulag camp, so he knows what he's talking about. So I'm gonna read this one. And then for Seriously Well Read Book Club, I have made very little progress in how to read a book. I sort of dip in and out here and there, but I've only read like a couple more pages. I doubt I will get this done by the end of April, but who knows? Who knows? I do have more time this week. I was a little bit busier this week with other stuff. All right. What else do we have going on? Diversity Book Bingo. So I never have a list or like, unless it's a tag video, I don't usually write things down and I just talk to the camera. So I often forget to mention that I am reading stuff for Diversity Book Bingo. I am still plowing away at Diversity Book Bingo, and I am going to be, actually my Trejo book will count for that as well, and so will this one. So still plugging away at Diversity Book Bingo, and also I am plugging away at the Yellow Book Road. I have 3 prompts complete, and I am working on my 4th, 5th, and 6th prompts. So I'm gonna be done with the Yellow Book Road this year, or this month, and I'm pretty stoked about that. What else do we have? All right, moving on to the fun books, or the books just for fun. We did end up, my daughter and I, picking back up with Impossible Creatures, and we read like 6 more chapters, and it is now a hit. It is now a hit, and we want to know what happens. So, gonna keep on going with this one. I know I had mentioned that I was a little bit fatigued with middle grade, but no, this is good, and I'm reading it with my daughter, so we will continue with this one as well. What else am I doing? The True Story of Raja the Gullible by Rabi Alameddin. I expected to get further in this than I did, but I am about a quarter of the way through. Maybe a little over a quarter of the way through. And it's very good. It is very good, which is why I'm surprised I haven't read more. But I think it's because I'm working on so many things at the same time. I think I'll finish this one this week. You know, I'm being hopeful here, but I think I will. I think I will, because it is very, I wouldn't say it's fast-paced, but I am enjoying Raja as the narrator, and he is quite sassy, and I enjoy it very much. So, Raja the Gullible by Rabi Alameddin. And that's actually one of the books for the prompts for the Yellow Book Road. And then I did end up finishing book 2 in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, Carl's Doomsday Scenario, and it was excellent. Very fun. Just as fun as the first one. I will be continuing. I realize now that I'm going to be spending quite a bit of money for this series because I've already went out and picked up book 3. And I am pretty sure that I will be reading this entire series before the year is out. But I have book 3 here. Haven't started it yet. And this is the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. And I expect it's going to be just as fun and delightful and ridiculous as books 1 and 2 were. I have not been so into a series in a while. I wanted to move on to book 2 in the Farseer trilogy, and here we are. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think because of the vibes, you know, it's so different from everything else that I'm reading. But that's what we have going on. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, I have The Stand, and I am now on like page 350, and I keep alternating between, oh my goodness, it's so good, to, oh, that's so nasty. And so, yes, there are a lot of dead people. So, descriptions about dead bodies and all of that, it puts me off, and I'm like, okay, I gotta close this for a minute, and let's pick up Dungeon Crawler Carl. There's dead people in here too, but it's much more lighthearted than this, with the bloating corpses everywhere. So and I am still enjoying this. I am still eager to get through this, but I am taking my time with this one. So this will definitely be a May rollover, because I am not trying to rush in the next 2 weeks to finish it. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, I'm fine with that as well. This is not a race. So, that is what I have going on, and what I have had going on for the past week. And I thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. I'd love to hear if you've read any of these or what you're reading now. And I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.